Good morning. This is Ann Gilrose, and I'd like to bring some new information to you today that has happened since the beginning of January. As many of you might know, if you're on our YouTube channel, we did a video recently called The Dark Night of the Soul, and it was my story of a dark night of the soul that I found myself in around January 2nd, which lasted quite a long time. Briefly, the experience of that was of no longer being on earth in the way I was. And if I had to describe it, I'd say I felt that I was in between dimensions. And that meant that as I would look down in my everyday reality, it seemed to be very surreal. Felt like I was watching a movie, felt like I was no longer in the same reality. There's a lot more to that, but let's just say what has evolved since then, and actually a choice point that I was given by Spirit to choose which dimension I wanted to now live in, because the earth was splitting. Now, since that time, I've had many people write me and tell me the same thing, that they were somehow feeling displaced. And what I mean by that is displaced from the reality of Earth. I had one man feel that he was completely out of his body. I had another woman feel that she too was being disassembled in a way. We're in Ireland now, and we've met with a yoga group who are expressing the same sort of, I'm going to call it a disassembly of their reality. So what's actually happening? When I was given the choice about which Earth I want to live in, because the earth is splitting, we're talking about a dimensional split. And the best way I can compare it to you is of train tracks. When a train is going down a track and suddenly it has to switch either this way or this way, whatever the train does or the conductor does determines which track it ends up on. And that's really what we're being asked to do. And the implications of the shift is that you're either choosing the old death earth or you're choosing the eternal life earth. Another way to say that is you're choosing from the unhappy dream we've been living in to a happy dream of a new world. But the implications of this choice are quite vast. In other words, you might say, well, it's obvious that you would choose the happy dream. Of course. But what does that really mean? And there is a process involved in the shift over and the choice to an eternal life paradigm as opposed to a paradigm based on suffering, lack, and death. So out of this, what has emerged is a new process and program that I am willing to share with others. And this program will be quite comprehensive in its application in terms of experiential, what you'll uncover about your belief systems, where you're rooted in the old paradigm, or we're also going to go back to your birth and conception in the old reality and take a look at it and its implications. And then we're going to switch over to what does it actually mean to surrender to a happy dream or to a new earth, because it is a process of letting go of control. It is a process of, like I said, surrender or submitting to an eternal life paradigm. And what is an eternal life paradigm? Okay, so we'll be going over the differences between a death paradigm and an eternal life paradigm. We'll be going over where our beliefs are rooted in either. We'll be looking at the choices to be made, and we will hopefully arrive at a place of clarity and peace by the time we're finished in this process. So stay tuned and stay with me, because this is very important work at this particular time. And I just want to say that my dark night began in the United States, and I am now in Ireland, and it's happening in Ireland. So this is a planetary event. We've talked many times in the past, or we've all known about prophecies that have come down through the years about the end of the world, and none of those prophecies have ever manifested. And we're not talking about the end of the world now, but we are talking about a dimensional shift that is occurring now. And what's different about this is really happening this now. This is going on at the moment, and there's a lot of confusion around it, and people, they're not understanding what's happening to them. So while in Ireland we are offering a one-day workshop to look into this, to explore the choices, to explain what's happening, and to add clarity to the situation and transformation. So you'll see the information about the one-day workshop below this video. And if you want to join us and sign up, please do so now because space is limited. Thank you.